starting with the biggest changes you can make to your home, like mechanicals and flooring, and going down to the smaller changes you can make, like really looking at the accessories, bedding, and pillows that you're buying for your space. So before we jump into the different categories, I'll just quickly answer a really general question to start. So how do you find eco-friendly products or know that they're actually eco-friendly? These days, consumers are more educated and passionate about environmental issues than ever. So I find that even home goods brands are really making it a focus to attract these customers. So you could start by looking at the mission statement or the About Us section of your favorite brand. Transparency is super important right now. So many of these companies are opening up about their production processes like never before, and they're owning up to further changes they need to make. So look for 5-year goals or changes that they pledge to make on their website. Do a little bit of homework and see what you can find. You'll find that most companies address it in some way or another now. And then on top of what the company says, you can look for independent certification labels like the Green Seal or Green Guard certification on products and furniture. So these companies have standards for both environmental impact and quality to ensure that you're getting high quality, environmentally friendly goods. And with no ties to the actual company or brand, these certifications act as a really good sort of checks and balances system. So now we'll jump into specific categories, starting with mechanicals. Most mechanical updates for your home that make a big impact on energy savings are definitely going to be a bit of an upfront, sort of bigger cost, but they're effective in bringing down your utility bills, and their longevity means that you can save lots of money in the long run if you're willing to put in a little bit of time and money. So investing in high efficiency appliances has an upfront cost, but it definitely will help you reduce your utility bills, and it's better for the planet in the long run. So often Energy Star appliances are eligible for discounts too through your electric or gas provider like ComEd or People's Gas. So that's kind of a good tip. You can check your provider's website for appliances and things like smart thermostats, and you can even get deals on products that ultimately help you save money and help the environment, which is really cool. If you have the budget to install, and I guess the space too here in the city, to install solar panels, these are a really great way to transition your home to renewable energy. And they're a lot more efficient than they used to be, meaning you don't necessarily have to cover your entire house to get the benefits from them. And some cities even have tax incentives for installing them too. And proper insulation in your home is another great way to save energy because it helps your furnace or air conditioner to work a little bit less, saving you your money and energy in the long run. So it's a bigger upfront cost again, but most insulation now can last 20 years or more. So you can purchase spray foam insulation, which is one of the most efficient. Seems maybe a little counterintuitive, even if it's made of plastic. It actually does save so much energy and lasts long enough to make a positive impact that it is worth considering the spray foam. And then finally, insulation made from recycled materials and natural materials like wool are also becoming more and more available. And then energy saving windows and glass are also a really great option. So dual pane windows help provide an insulation barrier in a space that would normally release the heat in the winter or amplify the heat outside in the summer. So those are some good tips for eco-friendly mechanicals if you're looking to take on sort of a bigger project. But now we'll move down to some more approachable projects and alternative flooring, windows, paints, stuff like that. So we'll start with flooring. Your flooring can also be an environmentally friendly choice that you make using some of the following materials. So flooring made of natural and quick renewing materials like cork are a really great option for less impact on the earth. A lot of cork flooring, which you can kind of see in that top right image there, now comes as a cork interior with a veneer on top. So you can achieve the look of a hardwood or a stone, and it actually looks a little bit higher end than what you might think cork would look like, but with less harm to the planet and added insulation. Wood flooring made from recycled wood or from fast growing plants like bamboo are another great option. Even though wood itself is a natural resource, our consumption of it is often faster than its ability to regrow. So it's definitely important to use it carefully and understand where it's coming from. But one of the biggest plus sides to hardwood is its durability. When taken care of properly, hardwood floors can last hundreds of years. So that's a big one. And carpeting can be tricky, but if you're using carpeting, there are definitely more options available now for less harmful carpeting. We're seeing options made with fewer chemicals, plastics, and harsh adhesives. You can also utilize carpet padding that is made from recycling or recycled materials, or purchase carpet that needs less padding already. And if you're using freestanding rugs, recycled materials or natural materials will have less impact on the environment. So we love a good jute rug, for instance. Plus, they're better for people with sensitive skin because they don't have chemicals used on them that off gas for several years after the purchase. So next we'll move on to lighting. One of the quickest ways you can lower your electricity bill and help the environment is by switching the types of lights you're using. So LEDs are now available in pretty much every color and bulb type and shape that you can think of. And because of their demand over the years, they've definitely become less expensive. There's still a higher upfront cost than even when you purchase a CFL bulb, but LEDs can last much longer and make a greater impact on your electric bill. And switching your lighting to smart lighting is another great energy saver. You can do this either by installing smart bulbs into light fixtures in your home, or you can install smart switches and make any light bulb automatically a smart bulb. So this second option is less upfront cost, but it is a little bit more work than just screwing in a different light bulb. But most smart lighting is connected through a smartphone app and allows you to dim lights, turn them off from anywhere, and even monitor their energy usage. So in the long run, it's really convenient, and I think it's a system we'll all probably be moving toward more in the future. And then finally, you can utilize natural light. We know this can be really tricky, especially in a city here like Chicago, where buildings are really close together. It can be hard to get light from your windows, even if you have a lot of them in your space. If you have the ability to add things like skylights or widen a window to let more natural light in, this will definitely help a lot and will automatically cut down the excessive need for light bulbs. But even in my apartment, I have a rental apartment. I know I can't change my windows, widen them, add anything. So even something simple like pushing my curtains back as much as possible during the day helps let the natural light in as much as possible. And I find I don't really use my overhead lights as much during the day if I even just do that. And then we'll move on to paint next. So the biggest thing for paint really is looking for water-based paint or alternative-based paint that says low VOC or low odor for interiors. So VOCs are volatile organic compounds, which are low-level toxic emissions. VOCs are definitely not good for the environment and even worse for your indoor air because they can make you dizzy, cause you to have a sore throat, nausea, or even worse with prolonged exposure. And unfortunately, these negative effects of VOCs can be anywhere from 2 to 5 times higher indoors than outdoors because we're talking about a more confined space when you're inside. So describing a paint, finish, or lacquer as eco-friendly essentially means that it doesn't contain any of these airborne chemicals or gases, so VOCs, that are so bad for your health. So major paint companies like Benjamin Moore and Sherwin-Williams are coming out with zero VOC paint lines. You can see the Benjamin Moore container here, and that line is even certified allergy and asthma friendly. So even the sort of big brands are really trying to be eco-conscious when it comes to their paint. Some brands are taking it even further. So there's a company called Real Milk Paint, and they're using milk paint made from milk protein. So it's actually a healthier alternative than even water-based paint or oil-based paint, like a lot of the commercial options. So honestly, like everything we're talking about here today, materials, sources, and new ideas are constantly evolving. So if you do a little digging around, you can definitely find the perfect eco-friendly option for your walls. And then we'll move on to furniture here. So ideally, we would all live in a perfectly sustainable greenhouse, but it's not something that happens overnight. So one of the easiest but most impactful changes you can make right now is looking at your furniture and home goods shopping choices. So we'll consider eco-friendly furniture first. So what makes furniture sustainable? The number one thing is material. So the most important criteria is to look for sustainably harvested materials, wood. For instance, you would be looking for the FSC certification. So that's the Forest Stewardship Council, which is a nonprofit organization that sets really high standards to make sure that forestry is practiced in an environmentally responsible and socially beneficial way. So if you're shopping for wood furniture, look out for that certification. But just generally looking for any recycled, reclaimed, and reused materials, along with rapidly renewable materials, is a really good place to start. And we'll go into that a bit more later. Second, you'd look for non-toxic. So adhesives and finishes that consider the health of workers, consumers, and the planet. Third, you're looking for quality. So furniture that stands the test of time. This limits the need to buy new items frequently. It's kind of like fast fashion. It's better to invest in one really great piece that will last forever than to replace a flimsier piece over and over again. Um, Fourth, we'll go into manufacturing practices. So you want to look out for operations that use clean energy and minimize energy and waste. And then finally, recyclability. So components that are easily dismantled and recycled at the end of the product's useful life. So those are kind of the big five for considerations for eco-friendly furniture. And we'll break down a few of the above in the actual context of brands, plus some other key things to look out for when purchasing sustainable furniture and some eco-friendly shopping habits to consider. So consider purchasing recycled or upcycled furniture. So secondhand shopping is always more sustainable than buying new. And that's why Cherish is one of our favorite eco-conscious furniture brands. Their whole mission is repurposing old pieces and making them new again. Plus, Cherish's incredible collection of vintage finds will definitely ensure that you have a really unique design vibe that no one else has. And on that same sort of vein, Etsy is another good source. You might kind of think of them more as like craft goods or little trinkets, but they actually do reclaim and upcycle a lot of furniture and work with specific artisans and furniture makers to work with reclaimed and upcycled furniture. So they have everything from wooden wall art to pallet coffee tables on Etsy. And then finally, sites like OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace can really be great for connecting you directly to people selling their furniture and decor. You can find everything from vintage pieces to lightly used big brand pieces. And it saves them from just being forgotten about in storage or thrown away. So technically shopping on a site like that is a really, really great use of upcycling too. And then you can shop your favorite big brands still, but definitely seek out their eco-friendly lines and pieces that use eco-friendly materials. So Denise, if we can go to the next slide. So a lot of big name furniture sellers like Crate & Barrel and West Elm. So West Elm here you can see in the right-hand side, they have a lot of FSC certified, reclaimed, and sustainably made lines and pieces within their larger collections. and they will advertise that on the website. So look out for that stamp or that certification in the description. And you'd be surprised at West Elm, some of the most popular sofas, dressers, and more are FSC certified. So like this bedroom setup you see here on the right, it's some of the most popular mid-century stuff that they sell, and it is also eco-friendly, which is great. Plus 100% of their all cotton bedding and towels are certified organic, and they've pledged to have 50% of their wood sustainably sourced by the end of this year. And IKEA is another one. They've been working really hard to make their business model and production methods from more sustainable materials, everything from energy efficient LED lighting across the entire company to sustainably sourcing all of their cotton. They're another big box that's really trying to make a difference. So look out for the certification on IKEA's website as well. Plus, IKEA sells many energy efficient and water saving products, from shower heads to light fixtures. So that's kind of an easy way, going back to mechanicals, to change something fundamental about your place to help it be a little bit more eco-friendly. And so then next you could look for brands who specifically mention fair wage initiatives and are artisan focused. So the Citizenry is a lifestyle and home brand that empowers artisans around the world by focusing on the individuals behind each of their products. So they have everything from furniture to bath products, and they're all produced in small batches that focus on quality over quantity. Their business model is simple. Artisan partners from everywhere from Mexico, Peru, Morocco, and more collaborate with the Citizenry, and the locally made products are then sold exclusively online. So this totally cuts out the middleman, guaranteeing fair wages for the artisans, plus 10% of proceeds go back to the artisan communities, allowing the sustainable model to grow and thrive. And so in addition to giving back to makers and artisans, you can look for other give back programs and initiatives. So take Joybird, for instance. With every purchase you make at Joybird, the company will plant more trees than were used in the manufacturing of that item, ensuring that resources are constantly being replenished and conserved. And then I mentioned Cherish above. Not only is it a great source for secondhand pieces, but they also give back. So each year the company offers a scholarship designed to help support students interested in design-related fields. And then another big trend we're seeing right now is alternative mattresses. So Sattva mattress company tempered steel, eco-friendly foams, and organic cotton coverings to make their memory foam mattresses. And Avocado is another really popular one. They use 100% latex for their mattresses, which is both recyclable and biodegradable. Plus, they offer a vegan version of their popular mattress, which substitutes cotton for wool. So with all these green innovations, it's definitely worth doing a little research the next time you're shopping for a mattress. Most mattress places will make a point to kind of announce and let you know what they're doing for the plan, down on shipping costs as well. So definitely look out for that. And then finally, look for products that are made in the USA. So High Point, North Carolina is a hub for US crafted furniture, and it actually draws thousands of designers and visitors biannually for its High Point furniture market. And we at Haven have definitely taken advantage of that and visited the market for years. And we proudly source a lot of our furniture pieces from the market. Not only does it help the local craftspeople, artisans, and the economy there, but sourcing right away from a few states away streamlines shipping and cuts way down on the shipping waste that an international journey creates. So Burrow is just one great example of a popular online shop that manufactures its sofas in the USA and ships them in 100% recycled cardboard boxes. But look for other furniture brands with transparent manufacturing and shipping practices. And it's always good to support your local craftspeople. And so we'll move on to fabric for a minute here. So eco-friendly fabric doesn't have to automatically mean it's made from recycled materials, although that is one of the simplest way to make sure that it's impacting the environment on the smaller scale. But there have been many advances to the creation of fabric that are better for the planet and still look amazing. And a lot of them are fabrics we already know and love. So leather was definitely widely regarded as non-sustainable for a while. And it's not 100% fixed, but practices are definitely being reformed to make it more eco-friendly. So many tanneries have changed the way they process leather to include fewer chemicals or no chemicals at all. And they have a lot higher standards for disposing of any chemicals they do use. And the change is actually coming from producers being eco-friendly, but also consumers demanding sustainable and responsibly sourced products. So genuine leather is not totally, you know, off the board when it comes to eco-friendly. Plus, genuine leather also tends to last a lot longer than other materials, including vegan leather. So for a really big investment piece like a sofa or another piece of furniture, it actually can be a lot more sustainable in the long run, because you have the one big investment piece and you're not buying a plastic or PVC synthetic item over and over again as it wears and tears. Plus, many leather companies in fashion and design are trying to work more with the actual cattle ranchers to use hides that come from farming to cut down on waste for both sides of the industry, which is kind of cool. And down is similar to leather in that down definitely had a really bad rap for a while. Recently, demand for responsibly produced down or sustainably produced alternatives has increased a lot. So also like leather, more down is now being created in partnership with farms using farming byproducts, which is cool. And there are many standards in place now that help mark responsibly sourced down. But if you're still really against the idea, there are companies who are going a step further and manufacturing alternative down. They're kind of calling it alternative down, which is essentially made out of recycled plastic bottles. So a company like Buffy, even, which is a bedding company, is making comforters, faux down comforters that are made out of recycled plastic bottles, which is an interesting approach. And this alternative down definitely still remains lightweight, but has more ability to withstand moisture. So just look out for those certifications that the alternative itself is eco-friendly and not made of like a non-biodegradable plastic. But there are so many options out there that you can still shop your favorite fabrics and looks and do it in an eco-friendly way. And then we'll move to accessories, the final category here. So even being aware of what your candles are made of or where your bedding is sourced can make a huge, huge difference. And you don't have to sacrifice quality for sustainability, as you'll see here. So everything we talked about above with furniture pretty much still applies to home accessories as well. Artisans and artists are getting extremely creative with sustainable materials, from art to kitchenware and everything in between. So for hard accessories like vases and objects, items made using recyclable, reclaimed, or natural materials is the key consideration here. So kitchen accessories made with sustainably harvested wood or bamboo, for example. We're really loving the resurgence of like wood and rattan furniture and accessories. They're really stylish. You see them popping up all on design blogs. Plus they're eco-friendly. So definitely keep an eye out for that FSC certification, just like you would do for your furniture pieces. And you might think of coffee or food items when you hear Fair Trade certified, but the network actually extends much further into accessories and other home goods as well. So Fair Trade is a global network that focuses on empowering workers and artisans, but they also have extremely high standards for environmental practices. So look for the Fair Trade certified stamp the next time you're browsing home goods. Even in the big box stores like West Elm, like we were talking about earlier, their collection of Fair Trade certified accessories, bedding, and pillows is always growing. And for your candle needs, consider a brand like Life and Cycle. You can see there on the left. Each candle is made of pure essential oils, American grown soy wax, and a cotton wick. So they don't use paraffin, dyes, or synthetic fragrances. And more candle companies and fragrance companies are heading in this direction. So just do a quick check and make sure that your favorite candle brand is all natural and as eco-friendly as possible. And for soft goods like bedding and towels, organic cotton is a really great option. Certified organic cotton soft goods are never exposed to the extensive list of harmful dyes, pesticides, and other toxic processing components that many other fabrics are subject to. So organic fibers are naturally softer and stronger, so they don't require the intensive breakdown of harsh chemical processing. And as a bonus, organic cotton is especially gentle against sensitive skin, and it's really great for allergy prone people. And like I mentioned above, fair trade certification extends to soft goods. So even if you're looking for bedding and towels and you're looking at the organic cotton, keep an eye out for the stamp of certification on your bedding and towels in those categories as well. And color is also key to keep in mind. So look for cotton and wool colored with natural or toxin-free synthetic dyes. And then finally, eucalyptus is a really popular new source for fabric. It's popping up everywhere, especially for bedding, it seems like. The most promising thing about this new trend is that eucalyptus grows with 10 times less water than cotton, plus no pesticides. But unlike with organic cotton, there's not yet a global agricultural standard for converting eucalyptus into yarn. So overall pollution effects and worker health are still kind of being studied. But companies like Buffy are doing their part to harvest eucalyptus sustainably as we continue studying all of this information and this source. So Buffy's a bedding company that makes their fabrics with eucalyptus transformed into fiber through a closed loop system that reuses 99% of its solvents, meaning that it's made with virtually zero waste. So that's really important to look out for while we're still kind of studying how eucalyptus is being harvested. This closed loop system is something to look out for. And at Buffy specifically, their farmers are actually planting 4 trees for every 3 that are cut down for fabric. So that's they're trying to sort of regenerate the source as they go, which is great. And like I mentioned earlier, their quote unquote downfill is made of recycled plastic bottles as well. Plus they're even introducing a soft hemp bedding option coming soon. So they're definitely a really great bedding source to look out for. And so as we're wrapping up here, I did pull together just a handful of sources for you to consider next time you're in the market for some home goods. As we discovered today, there are so many aspects of eco-friendly design to consider, and it can be difficult and a little daunting to fully greenify every aspect of your home. But with more and more processes and products becoming available, every consumer choice really does help. And so hopefully you found some things in here that will help guide you in your next purchase as we continue to support a greener world. So thanks again, everyone, for coming. We hope you enjoyed it. Next week, our Tuesdays at 2, we'll talk all about statement ceilings and statement floors that give instant wow factors to any space. So our designer, Julie Gathman, will be hosting, and she'll be joined with Guinevere Johnson from Third Coast Interiors, which is really exciting. So definitely look out on our Instagram profile for a link to register there. And we hope to see you next Tuesday at 2. Thanks, everyone. Have a good afternoon.